Hello, my divine sea stars and bro stars. How are you all today? Not today, nowadays. How are you all? I hope everybody is doing well, um, taking care of themselves and their beloveds, and just waiting out this period. We all have to be a little bit patient, and a lot of flexibility is necessary. And this virus, which looks like a bad thing, which is, well, unfortunately, is hurting people. And we are all under the same, you know, conditions, which is actually bringing equality to the world right now, isn't it? I mean, it's like a sad thing, it's a bad thing, but it's also bringing some miracles to us. And the first miracle I noticed was, I was like, this is good in that sense, because the first miracle this virus did was it caused the Chinese government to shut down the cat dog meat market, which, you know, all these organizations, animal protection organizations, have been working to accomplish at least the humane treatment for many, many years. I mean, at least 15 years that I know of, that I'm aware of. And it just took a virus for this market to be shut down. And it was like, whoa, that's a good sign. And in one of my YouTube comments, I said, I'm waiting for other miracles to happen. And honestly, guys, I hope you and your family are doing well. And obviously, I'm not being selective, but of course, I mean, you carry more value as light bringers and sea stars and bro stars. Um, you know, light workers of this world. Yes, I mean, your health and well-being is very important, so take very good care of yourselves. But I mean, I wish none of this happened, but we have to start seeing the good in these kinds of things, like the, you know, because the universe has been trying to get our attention to behave like mammals but not viruses. And funny to say, viruses are turning right now uh, to be like, hopefully, our rescuers. Because humanity, as all of you guys know, we have not been going in the right direction. And have you guys seen the movie War of the Worlds? I think that's the name. There's like, you know, this doomsday movie, and as everything is going down, it turns out that the virus actually saves the world. Who knows? Maybe that's what's happening, and I'm praying that that's what's happening. Like, you know, it's going to hopefully do a good job in cleaning. But I mean, that's my perspective. Obviously, the universe and the nature has some other, I mean, not necessarily my perspective, but I am pretty sure that this is what is happening. If you guys have noticed, I mean, I don't know about your country and your, you know, your society, but I have seen here in my country, people are calling each other more, and they are really nicer to each other for a change. You know, they are like, you know, speaking the nicer words. Like, you know, if you know somebody's about to die, you don't yell and scream, you just say something nice. Hopefully that's the case. I mean, if you you know, accept some which we are so clear that they're nice people. We may not want to say nice things, but we should. In any case, we should try, do our best. But people are, as I have noticed, have people have become more compassionate and more empathic, and you know, becoming more like, if you need any help, like, things that are, people are becoming more helpful to each other. And I'm like, wow, it took, again, an enemy for people to unite. Now it's good in one aspect, because we are now realizing that our technology and our industry and our, domination of the world, and hopefully not, but mostly the domination of other countries and other uh, groups of the society, and even in our families, dominating, so forth. This craziness is not actually bringing us any security. Duh, yeah, it doesn't. Because, you know, we didn't plan, like, okay, the process of birth. Maybe our souls made a contract to come to this world, but we didn't do it with the intellect that we are so proud of and completely identified with, uh, taking so much pride out of. We didn't come to this world with it. We didn't grow with it. And we are so much like, confused. Really confused. And it had to take some kind of a, bad scenario for us to get real. To come back to our senses, like, okay, I mean, in this life, we need to start doing things in a certain way for the life to continue as it is intended to be. Just because we have the right for freedom of choice, and we have some kind of intellect which calculates with higher capacity than the other animals on Earth, we presume, does not give us any right to, continue nonchalantly, destroying not only the world but ourselves too. I mean, we have been in this direction of like, I'm just going to destroy, I am not saying it is an easy task, because we have been heavily programmed, not necessarily through a third party, but we can even say, if we don't want to apply the conspiracy theories, we can say that the density of the 3D, the survival need of the material world, has been programming us to be on guard always and use our minds. So, I mean, I think what's happening is a natural progression. It is, we can come up with as many conspiracy theories as we can, and they may be true, but nothing is beyond the control of God, the creator, the sustainer. So everything is done with a purpose. And even if this virus, which I don't subscribe, even if this virus was, planted with some, bad intentions through one country, it still doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, these bad guys turned out to be just tools for the unearthing, how you unearth the, I don't know the word, but like I heard this example, like cleaning up the wardrobe the other day. You know, if you want to clean up your closet, it's because it's piled with stuff and it needs to be cleaned. First, you have to take out everything, and it looks like a complete disaster. Like somebody I know used to say, like a bomb blasted in this house. You know, it's like everything is everywhere. It's total chaos. But then slowly you clean and then you put your stuff in order, and now it is a functional wardrobe or a closet. So this is what's happening. And another thing is that, you know, not another, but it had to come to this level of cleaning. And it is cleaning a lot of things. It we are really taken out of our, you know, we have been like these kids playing computer games, like completely stuck on the computer, you know, and forgetting to eat food, forgetting it was like a completely unhealthy situation. And now it's taken and we're like lost. We don't know what to do. You know, we have to learn how to meet ourselves, how to know ourselves, who we are, what we are doing as society. And we have to meet other people, you know, have empathy, have compassion, act with kindness, act with regard, respect. You know, we are learning these things because we are all cooped up. Most people, hopefully, you know, people will overcome this nervous thing about being cooped up in a house that with their family members or whatever, and they have been ignoring these relationships, and by escaping to work, escaping to the streets, escaping to wherever they want to escape. But now we have to face these relationships. We have to face ourselves. We have to face our relationships. We have to face everything, because I really like this word. How do you say? Shit got real. I love speaking in English. Okay, yeah, as these words are not so nice, but it expresses everything, right? It got real, and it didn't get real in the sense of a doomsday, but there is that very heavy energy of a doomsday. And that has been our mistake, honestly, because the word history repeats itself applies only to the people who don't learn from the history. And there is an expression in Turkish which is, I don't know an English equivalent one, so I'm going to translate. For the person who understands, even a mosquito is like a violin. For the person who doesn't understand, even a drum doesn't cut it. So anlayana sivrisinek saz, anlamayana davul zurna az. That's the quote. Now, we have been hearing these things, you know, we have been made aware of our misbehavior as society, you know, and how it's going to have very clearly very negative effects. I heard even the ozone layer has been starting to recover itself. That's another miracle. I mean, maybe I should call you guys to, add the miracles that you have been observing since this, due to the virus. And coming back to the mosquito and the violin statement, we have been hearing these things. And we have been keeping on doing the same thing and same thing and same thing. And we have been getting these, like earthquake here, earthquake there. And I know even some people were like, oh, earthquakes! No. That's, it's not fun. It's not fun. You may consider that as a sign of, the shift becoming real, the shift happening, a sign of shift. Now there's a difference. I am optimistic about the virus because I'm seeing the miracles happening already due to it. And it's different to say, oh yeah, we have been hearing that there will be earthquakes and there will be these, tornadoes and what is that called? Volcanoes, and they are signs. Sign is different than something that happens and then it actually acts as a transmuter to bring a positive change. And nature has been warning us with small things, Scientists have been warning us. Even the religious leaders have been warning us. A whole continent burned down this 2019, right? Fall and winter. And we were like really sad, and yeah, we prayed, but the rest of the society, were like, getting some hints. It is possible that we may actually face the consequence of our actions, but it was still not real enough. And something happened finally, which didn't. I think the nature accepted and the creator accepted our prayers that, the innocents should be spared, at least for God's sake, the plants and the animals, right? I mean, because they have no part in this. They should inherit this planet and live happily forever on it, because they are living in accordance to the harmony of the planet, and they are only enriching the planet. And we, on the other hand, I don't know. I mean, I don't like to use the conspiracy theories and say, oh, we are being, manipulated, and yeah, but it's mainly our egos, because we didn't listen. We didn't listen to the mosquito when it and hear the violin in it, hear the message in it. Now we are actually being saved from bigger catastrophes, bigger disasters, and this should bring us into our true essence. And hopefully it will. It is definitely waking up a lot of people. People are becoming real, like getting real, okay? They are getting real, okay? Because they are starting to realize that they cannot just take everything and not have any consequences of it. I mean, obviously, I'm not discounting myself when I keep saying they. And we should never discount ourselves. And that actually brings me to the second part, the main part of the story, which I wrote down. because I get distracted with all these ideas, guys. I mean, it's like such a bombardment of information. Jesus. It's a fine time, but it's a heavy load time. Okay, what I really want to say in this video is right now I am seeing all these people who are, you know, developing more compassion, more empathy, more like realization that they cannot keep ignoring their ex-family member, whatever. I mean, family member, person X, I wanted to say. And, you know, things being okay. We need to start facing these things and we need to start solving these things. But the reason we are behaving like this is because we are actually facing a life-threatening, individually and collectively, life-threatening situation. We are in the danger reality, war reality. We stepped into the war danger reality. We are having to face that. We are being locked down. We have to take some strict measures, and we have to. We don't know what's happening. We have no idea how things are going to turn out, about, and so forth. And this, not knowing what's happening, is making everybody like come together like, you know, little sheep and be really, really nice to each other because they need to feel secure. You guys understand what I'm saying, right? We are on one hand remembering our humanity, the beauty and the necessity of kindness, compassion, and all of that. But we are doing this, we are remembering based on an external threat. Now, if we say that because we are acting like that, we are done, even after everything is, all of this stuff is said and done, and literally things are cleared out, not only in the political sense, but also in the social sense and the physical geographic sense and nature sense and everything. Even if we are at that, we are just in stepping into the perfect society, which I believe in. I strongly believe in, because I want to believe in, and I believe that it exists, okay? And it's possible, and we can do it. But, I mean, look, angels are perfect, right? We can be angels too. But what I'm trying to emphasize here is that if we don't develop and establish and anchor this new way of being, new way of relating to ourselves and relating to each other, then the history may repeat. I want to speak positive. The history may repeat, and as the society becomes perfect, as it has been united due to an external threat factor, we are still in duality. As soon as everything is relaxed, as soon as we have no enemies, no more illness, no more economic whatever, everything is happy, chippy chirpy, and we are all happy, we may, and most possibly, you know, is something that we really have to pay attention. I don't want to speak doomsday speaking, but we have to pay attention to the very much possibility of falling back slowly and slowly into the darkness again. So we have to make sure, as we are responding to this negativity, and I'm not talking about just light workers here, okay? I mean, light workers do carry the, you know, we're like the locomotive. We're like whatever. And the whole society has to integrate the new qualities of being, relating to ourselves, to everybody else, and to the universe, obviously. We have to integrate these things. We cannot afford this improved way of being only based as a reaction to something outside, which is a doomsday scenario. Because once this is over, most possibly we will go back to our old ways and the history will repeat. And we will not have become an enlightened or evolved society. We will just become people who just gathered and united under common threat. We have to evolve. We have to evolve. We have to overcome. Obviously, it is a gradual process. First, we have to do certain things. First, we have to clean up. First, we have to respond to this opposing state. But we have to Wages World. Watch that channel. It's interesting. I mean, I like his this video. Maybe I put a link. He mentioned blue-pilled society. Okay, not the red pill, not the blue pill, but purple-pilled society. Uniting those two, being grounded, and I also being highly evolved. Because we are here to unite the third density and fifth and higher densities. And that is our goal. Our goal is to evolve the material existence into a spiritually integrated existence, spiritual existence. There are many light workers who express this much better than me, but I hope I have been able to give the heads up, guys. We need to learn how to keep the good without having to have the bad. Okay? Because we have always been thinking like, oh, we have to have dark so that we can have light. We have to have this so we can have that. We have been always thinking like in that sense, and in that sense also includes having the good necessitates having bad. But it is not. I mean, I'm new into this light things and so forth. Once I went to a seminar on agnostics, and I mean, it was like, I don't know, 6 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. Yeah, at most 5 years ago. And I'm quite an open-minded person. I can practically take any idea and say, oh, it's possible. But there, the speaker said, the light has intelligence, so there are people living in the sun. And I was like, okay, that's it. I'm okay until now, but you kind of lost it. People living in sun, living beings residing in sun. I was like, Go home. Now I'm like, yeah, I can see how that could work, but I can also start to realize when we call light in the 3D, we think fire, and fire burns. But the divine light has a totally different quality, right? Now, when we are in the 3D world, there's fire, which brings light, and there is dark and no fire. Fire, warm, dark, cold, dualities. But fire is only an expression in the 3D realm of the light. I hope I'm getting this to you guys. And so, in the divine, there is no light versus no light. There's light. Light is one of the basic foundational elements, if not a core of this creation. So, we must realize that the good and the bad that we have been thinking about, observing, living, experiencing, trying to be, trying not to be, in this world, in this life, in this 3D density, is like the fire. But the essence, which is the next step of the evolution, the essence, the spiritual essence, the light, the fire is just a light. And that light doesn't burn. The light only has information. The light only has life and love, right? So, we must, as society, realize, and of course, the leaders, the light workers as the leaders, okay, my dog ate too fast. So the light workers as the leaders of the society of the new world, okay, because everything is being dismantled, and we have to build, and the light workers have to be the leaders on making the architecture. We have to design, and we have to pay very good attention that the goodness that we are finally stepping into is a remembering through the reaction to a very bad scenario. It's good that we are remembering this, because we have to remember to survive. We have to become to survive. But we must always pay attention that it is very, very critical that we don't find it satisfactory to simply say, yeah, people are being nice now. No. We are being nice now. No. We have to be nice. That's obligatory. Okay? But people have to integrate all of this into their essence, into the core. Every individual and every culture of every society has to integrate that divinity, the purity, the harmony within and without, in all levels and layers. only then we will definitely upgrade into paradise on earth and be able to bring the perfect society, which will never fall back again, because it's in the core. We will become souls who are masterful creators of physical reality and living this physical reality according to the rules of our selections, the ambience, the whatever the type of game you want to play. Like, you want to play homebound person, nice society in the Arctic, whatever. But we have to be always aligned with the creator, and that is something that we have to really, really pay attention to. And this is my cat with the coronavirus. The cat version. She survived. I'm happy. Took few months. Okay, guys, I hope I made this distinction. It is very important. We need to get rid of the mentality which says that there has to be bad for the good to exist. We have to level up to the society or to the belief system where we don't need the bad to be and to have good. Because good is pure in essence. It is not a contrast. Okay? The pure good is not a contrast. Okay, guys, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for taking care of yourselves, being here on this planet right now, and doing your best to soothe and guide everybody, including yourself, through these difficult times. And the faster we learn, the sooner it will be over. But we all know that the universe and our mother planet Gaia is gonna have enough. I think I would have had enough long time ago. I don't have that much patience. Okay, guys, namaste. I love all of you. Thank you so much for being who you are. Thank you so much for existing in this reality, for coming to this reality. Thank you, guys. Thank you. May the light be with you. Thank you.